reach 25 people, like you said. I better fucking...
Hello everyone, it's Tish Dezorza here, and as promised, we are going to do a series of interviews with some friends of mine in the entrepreneurship space. Some of you may or may not know that I am the founder of a business called Their Perfect Gift, which is a gift card that you can redeem in 32 million places, totally up to you, only bought over the internet. But I am here today with my good friend, Jonathan Gray. Let me try and focus this round.
Hello.
Hello. Now back to me. And Jonathan is the founder of a business called Ovation Incentives. And I'm going to ask him a series of questions on his business journey, what he does, why he did it, what the business actually does now. But Jonathan is in a unique position as well as being a good friend of mine. We're also Tottenham Hotspur fans together, go to the football there. So the highs and lows of that. But also he's the president of the IMA, which is the Incentives Marketing Association for Europe. So we'll discuss a bit of that as well. So I'm going to turn this camera now to stare at his lovely face rather than mine.
All right.
So
There you are, Tish, yeah.
There we go. Right, Jay.
Yep.
Tell me just a little snapshot about what Ovation is. What did you
So
do?
Ovation Incentives is a company that helps businesses to help their staff or their salespeople to perform better, and then rewards them for that better performance. So we have different tools, software and products that incentivize, reward and motivate people to do a better job, sell more products and services, understand the culture of an organization, understand the behaviors that make that organization great.
Okay, wonderful. And how long has the business been going for?
Well, actually, I suppose the business has actually been going for 17 years, which seems like a long time. And
Well, did you start when you were like 6?
as a Tottenham Hotspur supporter like yourself, Tish, you know, perseverance is 99% of success. So in the end, you do get to the Champions League, but it takes a bit of while.
So what's a typical client for you? What kind of
Yeah, so our clients are generally multinational companies. So we have a focus really on doing the difficult type of incentivizing and motivating for our clients. The stuff that is in multiple languages, in multiple currencies, that requires that extra special bit of help in terms of customer service, in terms of delivery, and in terms of choice of reward around the world.
Okay, right. Let's get to the good stuff. Why did you start your business?
Well, I suppose I started my business. I was always going to have my own business from an early age. I was always, making money, doing my own thing,
Okay.
as a lot of entrepreneurs would do. But from Ovation's perspective, I suppose it started in the late 1990s in another guise, which was when I got into the world of electronic money back in 1998. And worked for a company called Mondex, which was the first ever e-money company that was trying to create a bonded value from Bank of England on a plastic smart card. And so I found myself in the smart card e-money world in late 98, and I thought to myself, well, a lot of these large banks and institutions...
And how old were you at this point?
I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, about 25. 24, 25. A lot of these large institutions are trying to create electronic systems for currencies and actual bonded values from central banks. But no one was really looking at the other types of bonded value that exist in the marketplace, primarily gift cards.
Okay.
And so I got myself into a bit of research and started looking at what were the opportunities to create technology platforms and systems to create electronic gift cards, electronic vouchers.
Now,
in 1998. Yeah.
1998. It's not like you could go on Google.
No.
Or well, you probably could, but it probably didn't have the same.
And
kind
in
of
retrospect,
content,
I should have just taken the idea, boxed it up, put it on a shelf, and then take it down another 10 years later.
Okay.
Because when we tried to sell that idea into various retailers, in 98, 99, they didn't even have websites, and those that had websites were barely on e-commerce, and those who were on e-commerce, they wanted nothing to do about the gift cards and gift vouchers. So unfortunately, we took a few pivots along the road in that business, and ultimately it didn't work out in 98.
And what would you say the biggest learning curve for you at that point was?
Yeah, well, the learning curve, I suppose, first of all, is understanding the market in terms of what's acceptable to the market, because the ideas we had were amazing.
Yeah.
They were amazing in terms of developing systems to be a processor of gift cards for e-vouchers in 98 was a big deal.
Am I still getting you?
Yeah, you're still there. We created a social gifting platform called Germono, which actually, if Facebook was around, would have been quite an interesting angle at the time. But social gifting was unheard of in 98, 99, and our gift pot concept was a little bit ahead of its game. Another thing we could have kind of taken down, put on a shelf, and come back another time. However, the learning really is understanding what's available in your market and how to monetize that. So it's very important to find the right type of customers that will actually buy your products, rather than the idea of having a great product.
Well, that's an interesting point. You said monetize, right? Mm-hmm. Because I look at the world today and I'm going, well, people aren't monetizing anything. It's all about these users. What's your feeling on that?
There's a little bit of emperor has no clothes,
Well,
in my opinion.
Right? So, yeah.
I've been very fortunate in that for Ovation, which started in 2001, and we took a very lean, bootstrapped approach to the business, as it's now called.
Because you still have no institutional money.
So the business has grown completely organically.
Wonderful, yeah.
We have no investors, no debt, and it has been the product of the people that have worked with me over the years, thinking about what we do, how we can take our products and sell them, and making investment decisions with our own money, and making sure that our own money and our own capital is put to good use to get a return for everyone in the business. And so we've grown the business organically over that period of time from 2001 till now. And that journey has you have a lot of discipline, because you're spending your own money, not other people's money. And that means that you have to be very prudent about what you do, but you also have to be very certain about the confidence in your systems, and confidence in your people, and confidence in your ability to sell your products.
Okay. So what would you say in terms of the platform that you have?
Yeah. You asked me first of all about the emperor has no clothes, and users versus customers. So in this day and age, markets change rapidly and quickly. In where we are now, 2018 is an entirely different world than where we were in 2012, 6 years ago. And so if you're looking at evaluation of your business in terms of lifetime value of your customer, in terms of repeat user, things change so quickly that lifetime really isn't a lifetime. It's maybe 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
So your window of opportunity and window of development, your development cycle, really is a sort of 4 to 5 year development cycle where the whole world changes. In payments and gift cards and in incentives and motivation systems and technology around those, that's the case. It changes so rapidly that you really have to reinvest in your business, and you can't rest on your laurels. And I think if you're only looking at numbers of users and you're valuing yourself on numbers of users, you're living in a false world. The only thing that matters is, are you making profit? Are you monetizing, which is pretty poor word, but are you actually running your organization and your business for a profit? And for me, nothing else matters.
Okay. So in terms of these user numbers, we've been having very nice lunch talking about this type of situation now, and these days you could just pay someone to be a user, right? Doesn't mean they're a customer.
No.
But I would say that your business has both customers and users, right? Mm-hmm. So your platforms would touch how many people around the world? What would you say?
A couple of 100,000 people a year go through our platforms.
A couple of 100,000 people a year have access to your technology. You get to engage with them on in theory, on a daily basis if you really wanted to, right?
Yeah, it is. And in about 80 countries.
Wow. And you did that all organically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No institutional debt. Dude, that's amazing. Okay, biggest learning curves? What would you say?
But I don't value my business on the amount of users I have.
Yeah.
I value my business on the contracts I have with my corporate clients. So we're a business-to-business organization.
Let's call it 100 million valuation now.
Hey, wouldn't that be lovely? Yeah, ruples.
So, what would you say if, because what we do, I'd like to have a lot of people who are, I would say, intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs who would view this, right?
Okay.
And the whole point of doing something like this is we try to learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
what would you
great
say?
believer in that.
What would you say would be some real key learning steps that you've learned? Right? Give me the top 3. What would you say?
Okay, so the first one, I think, in terms of belief, is perseverance. Perseverance in believing in what you do is right and knowing that you have a market and knowing that you have the right type of customer base. Just being around long enough is one element of success. Surviving and believing in your vision and being there for your customers over a long period of time. That's really, really important. So don't give up. Keep going and you will get there. I totally believe that. But to do that, you also have to have I suppose you have to have a way about you. You have to have the belief in yourself that you can make it happen. So while perseverance is good in its own, you have to have skills and ability. So you have to evaluate yourself and get out from behind your desk. You have to shake hands. You have to sit down with people, look them in the eye and get business done.
What you mean, I can't just do that over the internet then?
And as much as we would like to think you can do that over the internet, and you can, I don't believe there's any substitute for the personal relationships that you build in business over time.
Absolutely.
And the value of those personal relationships, whether it's your suppliers, your customers, or your staff members. It's that personality and personal relationships that actually lets people have trust in you, they believe in you, and you in turn do a good job for them. And that's the second very important thing I think I'd allude to. And I think the third most important thing, I think, is there's a great temptation. Maybe this isn't the third most important, but it's one that's popped into my head now that we've had a discussion about it, is not to get swallowed up in the hype. We live in a very information-friendly world where you're always looking at who's being funded for this, who's being funded for that, and often you have to look behind that and look at the value of the proposition. And I think it's far more important to look at your flows, your cash flow, your profit flow. Those are the things that make businesses work, not so much your investment or your potential investment or your potential market share. What actually are you doing? What's the money going through your business and what margin are you making on that money? Those are the things you have to be aware of more than anything else, I think. And if you can have a good cash flow and have a good profitability or known profitability or stable profitability, then you'll be able to get investment, you'll be able to grow if you choose to do that. But if you don't have those first two things right, which that means you don't have the right product, you don't have the right customers, and you're in the wrong place. So,
amazing. That is brilliant, mate. Thank you very much for that. And is there a war story that you want to share? Something where it went to shit?
Oh, more than one of those. It happens on a daily basis. But the one that I want to share is a little bit. I'd have to think about that when it goes public. But not so much a war story, but a analogy of prudence. As you grow a business and you bring in people with you, as a business owner and as a business leader, you always want to get you want to see people leave your business better than when they arrived. You have to nurture them, and it's part of the joy of having your business. It's not all about the products and the money and building your market. It's also about looking at those around you as they grow as individuals while your business grows, and they gain experiences and they become better at what they do, and they become better people as a result of that. So the war story aspect of it is make sure you surround yourself in your business with people that want to move forward themselves, that have a hunger and a curiosity. I like to have people in my business who have a curiosity to question what we do, to look for new ways of doing things, who like to be a little bit critical of how we are, but also not just be critical, but have the intelligence to come up with solutions and come up with answers to make things better. And so the war stories are when you have people in your business who coast. You have to get rid of them quickly and make that decision early. I have often not made that decision quick enough, but I've also been super proud and super one of the joys of business has seen people in my business, whether they're with me now or people who have left, just flourish and blossom over the years, and that's a joy of life.
Mate, that's amazing. That's brilliant.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tish.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, back to me. So, thank you very much for lunch as well, man. That's been it's been good. And we got sunshine. We're just here in Borough Market. So that has been Jonathan Gray of Ovation Incentives and president of the IMA. And we'll be bringing a few more interviews like this from some other friends. We try and keep them short, sharp, snappy, and hopefully there'll be some lessons in here for all of us. See you again soon. Bye.